Chapter 8. The Cost of One Missed Rep. Most people think that skipping one day doesn't matter. They tell themselves, it's just one workout, it's just one morning of sleeping in, or, I'll make it up tomorrow. This is a catastrophic error in judgment. Missing a scheduled task isn't just about the lost progress of that specific day, it is about the destruction of your momentum. Momentum is the most powerful force in the universe for an achiever, and it is the hardest thing to get back once it's gone. To build unbreakable mental toughness, you must understand that the cost of one missed representative is far higher than the effort it takes to complete it. You have a choice. You can protect your momentum like your life depends on it, or you can spend your life constantly trying to restart. Never break the chain. Think about the physics of success. It takes massive energy to get a rocket off the ground, but once it's in orbit, it moves with very little effort. Your discipline is the same. The first few weeks of a new habit are grueling because you are fighting gravity. But once you have momentum, the habit starts to carry you. When you skip a day, you aren't just pausing, you are falling back to earth. You are forcing yourself to go through the launch phase all over again. That is why most people never get anywhere. They spend their entire lives in the launch phase, constantly starting over because they didn't have the discipline to stay in orbit. That's the key. One miss is an accident, two misses is the start of a new habit, a habit of failing. Every time you show up when you don't want to, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. Every time you skip, you are casting a vote for the person you are trying to leave behind. Your subconscious is always watching. It is keeping a record of your integrity. When you break your word to yourself, you lose your own respect. And without self-respect, you can never have self-discipline. Never break the chain. You don't need their permission to be unreasonable about your streak. People will tell you that you are being too hard on yourself. They will say, it's okay to take a break. They don't understand that for a man of destiny, a break is a breach of contract. Your contract is with your future self. That future version of you is counting on you to show up today. Not because today's work is particularly special, but because the act of showing up is what keeps the machine running. It's not about the result of the representative, it's about the reputation with yourself. Look at the high performer's secret. They aren't necessarily smarter or more talented than you. They are just more consistent. They have a never miss twice rule. If life genuinely gets in the way and they miss once, they treat it like an emergency. They don't wait for next Monday. They get back on track immediately, at the very next opportunity. They realize that a gap in the chain is a leak in their power. That's the key. The day you feel the least like doing the work is the most important day to do it. Why? Because that is the day you prove to your brain that your schedule is non-negotiable. If you only work when it's easy, you are a fair-weather soldier. If you work when it's hard, you are a warrior. The reps you do on your worst days are the ones that actually build the muscle of discipline. The easy days are just maintenance. Never break the chain. You have a choice every time you feel an excuse forming in your mind. You can let that excuse break your momentum, or you can use it as fuel to prove your strength. When you are traveling, when you are sick, when you are overwhelmed, do something. Even if it's a reduced version of your habit, do not zero out. Do 10 push-ups instead of 50. Write one paragraph instead of a chapter. Just keep the fire burning. A small flame is easy to grow, a cold hearth takes an hour to light. It's not about the quantity, it's about the continuity. Stop being a restarter. Stop being the person who is always getting back into it. That cycle is exhausting and demoralizing. Decide today that the chain will not break. Decide that your word to yourself is the highest law in your universe. When you become a person who never misses, you develop a quiet, lethal confidence. You know that as long as the clock is ticking, you are moving forward. Never break the chain. The world wants you to break. It wants you to be normal and take the weekends off from your dreams. But you are building a fortress of relentless consistency. And a fortress with a hole in the wall is no fortress at all. Every day you show up is another stone in that wall. Every day you skip is a stone you've thrown away. That's the key to building a mind that does not know how to quit. You make the doing more important than the feeling. You realize that your momentum is your greatest asset. If you protect it, it will eventually move mountains for you. If you betray it, you will spend your life staring at the base of the mountain, wondering why it's so hard to climb. It's not about the finish line, it's about the frequency. You don't need their permission to be obsessed with your streak. Let them call you a fanatic. Let them call you a machine. A machine doesn't care about excuses. A machine just runs. And a machine that never stops will eventually outpace everyone who relies on inspiration. Never break the chain. You have successfully understood the gravity of momentum. You have realized that, just once, is the lie that kills empires. You are ready to stop restarting and start arriving. You mastered the cost of the missed representative. Now, let's talk about how to detach your happiness from the outcome and focus entirely on the process.